Hey, I'm Dave Ryder from BreakthroughMindsets.com, and I want to take a moment to ask you to subscribe to our channel and click that bell notification so you don't miss our next video. Today I'm talking about managing feelings and emotions. Let's do it. Now, if you listen to this whole video, you're going to learn a ton in just 10 minutes about emotional intelligence that can really make a big difference in your life. Your mindset is one of the first things that you're going to want to notice and change if you have difficulty with feelings and emotions, especially if you're a guy. You know, we're living in a society and a culture now where we're not really taught much about emotions growing up. So let me give you an example. So your mindset, if your mindset is like, for example, a me versus you, competitive, always seeing the world as a competition kind of mindset, and you compare that to a mindset of if it's us working together on the same team, then who you're being and where you're coming from will create a ton of stress. Like thoughts and ideas that are very stressful and that will create endless emotional reactions that will put you right into fight or flight. Okay, so, and it's the same thing that goes with like a victim kind of mindset where, you know, you make others or situations responsible for what you experience or feel. That'll do the same thing. The mind will find things to fret about, to worry about, to stress over nonstop, as opposed to being and coming from a responsible mindset where you know, you understand, and you own your own experience, thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and results. Big difference. Huge. Can you see how your mindset makes a big difference? And if you have the wrong mindset at the wrong time, that it can be non-productive and create endless internal conflict inside that can make you feel powerless and frustrated. Well, who here likes to feel powerless and frustrated? I know I don't. Okay, so mindset is key here because it determines your thoughts, your beliefs, how you feel, and in turn what you do. Coming from a me versus you, a dog-eat-dog mindset, or how you see things, you'll create a ton of stress and emotions, and if you don't address those and release them on a regular basis, they can build up inside and cause a real problem, and you don't even know it. And you think it's about you, but it's not. Okay, so if you're a tough guy and you think you don't need to feel emotions, you're dead wrong. Because every decision you've ever made in your life and every decision you will make is based on emotions, right? And we use logic to justify our emotional decisions. So if you want to improve your life, you better learn how to feel better, or you won't take the action necessary to live the kind of life that you want to live. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. So in order to manage feelings and emotions, it's important to take that built-up emotion and release it. Release the pressure, like releasing the pressure on a steam cooker. When you release that valve and let out the pent-up emotions from decades of storage, right? And this can make you feel bad or even worse for a while at first, because you probably haven't had enough education about this. You probably haven't done this. They didn't teach us this in high school and grade school where we really needed to learn it. And you have to practice it a little bit. And sometimes it can be scary because you just don't know how long it's going to last, those feelings. And you don't know how deep those feelings go and what it's like to release those and what's going to happen afterwards. But those emotions stuffed down inside can hold you back from being your best self and from thinking clearly. And when you do release them, in a way that I'm about to show you, it can be profound and it can change your life. And it's not something that you need to keep coming back to do over and over again, because it's deep subconscious release that's happening. All right, let's do a quick exercise that you can do right now. Now, Google always comes in handy. You can go to Google and you can search for a list of emotions. And for the purpose of this, here's a few emotional words on the screen that you can use. So scan through those words and write down one that bothers you a little, like a 4 on a 10 scale. A 4, not a 10, not a 7, a 4, all right? And I'm going to show you how to access and release that emotional pressure valve and let those emotions flow. Let them go. Let them out. Now, if you've had an emotional reaction to the word sadness, for example, that's a good indication that you had some bottled up sadness inside that needs to be let out. All right? We're not going to solve all the world's problems right now. We're just going to release, or this is just an example to start with. So take your word, whatever that is, and write it on a sheet of paper. All right? And look at it. And if you don't want to write it, that's fine too. But just think about it in your mind. In fact, close your eyes and think about that word. and notice it. Notice the feelings that come up. Notice the images and the thoughts that you have when you focus on that word. Now, writing engages a lot more of the brain. That's why I suggest that you write it down on a piece of paper, all right? And you feel it, don't you? Good. That means it's working. Okay, so how strong would you rate that feeling? If you were to rate it 0, you don't feel it at all, and 10, it's too much. All right. If it's above a 4, stop the video and pick one that's no more than about a 4. All right. We're starting slowly here because I'm not there, and I want you to get the hang of this. Got one? Okay, great. All right, do it again. Think about that word. Notice what's coming up for you. Notice what you've been holding on to inside that makes this feel so strong. Allow yourself to feel it. Most of the time we block it, we bury it, we deny it, we suppress it, and so they get left inside and stuck down deep, and it can make you feel really bad. Okay, now here's where I want you to tap. So make contact when I want you to feel it, and this is where you're literally tapping right into the central nervous system. All right, I want you to tap here, side of the eyes here, under your eyes here, and under the collarbone right here, and then grab your wrist, take a deep breath, and say relax. Okay, great. Okay, now go to that feeling, go to that word, go to that 4, now bring that back, bring that 4 back, and notice all the images, notice all the feelings. You got it? Okay, now tap with me and repeat with me out loud. Say, I release and let go. I let it go. I give it up. I change my mind. I let all the sadness go, or whatever that feeling is for you, and then grab your wrist. That's right. Take a deep breath and blow it all out and say relax. Excellent. Okay, now that was just once. Okay, then you'll want to go back. You'll want to keep going back and do that again and again until you no longer have an emotional reaction to that word. You're starting to build some emotional intelligence until you can look at that word and it simply doesn't bother you. Congratulations. All right, you just learned a cutting edge, a leading edge technology that can give you real results and lasting changes when it comes to managing feelings and emotions. Now, if it was a big one for you, and that happens, all right, you might need some help, and that's what we're here for. You can just find a link in the description. But once you do this 4 or 5 times on your own, you'll notice that you no longer automatically knee-jerk react to a simple word, an English word, right? That means that your brain has changed, and that's called neuroplasticity. And with some practice and some training, you can master this. Now, there's a lot more you can do with tapping than this, but this is an emotional power tool. It's the power tool of choice that you can put in your spiritual, emotional, mental toolkit. Tapping is an art as much as it is a science of how to use your mind. But it's how the brain works. You focus on what you don't want for a while, you free your attention, and you focus on what you do want. You're in control of your feelings, and feelings are the result of what you hold inside your mind and what you practice and condition in yourself. Emotions are and feelings are reactions to how you process your world and what's going on inside. So I hope that helped. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.